All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the S&P 500 inclusion stream. Today's Friday, September 5th. I know I said I would be at the airport, but the flight got delayed. And so got some time outside. We've been outside a lot for these live streams with these nice little clouds in the background. But we're here again. We got 17 minutes until we figure out who gets into the S&P 500. And, I have some thoughts on who I think should get in that we'll talk about. But literally in the next 17 minutes, we are going to find out. We are going to see. And there you go. You got some more greenery in the background. We're going to figure out who gets in. So this will be an important one. Obviously, Robinhood is at the top of mind for a lot of people. And a lot of us think that Robinhood could be the one to end up getting in. The question is going to be, does the street feel that Robinhood deserves to get in? And I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question. I think none of us necessarily have the answer to that question. But we're going to find out. And if they do get in, obviously it'll be very nice to see, given a lot of us have been following the progress on the company. By the way, end of the day, I bought the Robinhood dip at 97 today. I know a lot of other people bought that dip. We have Mr. Triple V right here in the chat. Thank you for the $200 super chat. He bought about $10 million of Robinhood at $98. He is, I think, up like 300 grand because he bought at 98. Stock went up $3. He had 100,000 shares, 3 times 100,000, $300,000. Not too bad of a day. And maybe he'll be up more if Hoodie continues to have some momentum on this inclusion announcement, if we're able to get it. So broader market recovery, and I don't want to say full recovery, but we did see a little bit of that 1105 bottom end up playing out in our favor. I mean, S&P was at, 643? Now it's at 647. High of day was at 652. Not that crazy. A lot of algos went back and forth around 11 a.m. Eastern. And those dips were not some of the worst dips in the world if you took advantage of that. But now it's a question of seeing who gets into the S&P. So the major candidates to get into the S&P 500, let me actually pull up the list right here. There's actually a variety of them. It's not just Hood and AppLovin, although those are some of the main ones that I think could obviously get in, given they are some of the biggest companies in the stock market that are not in the S&P 500. And they've also been executing very well. But you've got a bunch of other names that theoretically could get in. So AppLovin's there, Hood is there, MicroStrategy. I made a post on Twitter about Hood and AppLovin getting in, and I got the MicroStrategy community that's mad at me because I didn't mention MicroStrategy. They also could theoretically get in, and so we're going to see if they do get in. I'm a little skeptical, just given I don't know if the S&P is ready to allow a Bitcoin treasury to be in. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to see, but MicroStrategy could get in. And then here's the picture of all the stocks that could be in. Vertiv, Cheniere, natural gas, that's very possible. Energy, Carvana, that could get in. As you can see, AppLovin, MicroStrategy, and Robinhood are at the top right here on Bloomberg's intelligence list. So those are the three that Bloomberg thinks has a better chance to get in. But we're going to end up seeing what happens. Reddit. Now, Reddit went public last year. I don't think Reddit gets in. I think that would be a little too soon. Reddit's execution has been phenomenal, but I'm not sure if it's going to be Reddit. Zoom could get in. Toast, financial services product, could get in. Ares Management could get in. Viva Systems could get in. So as you can see on the screen, there's a lot of different options for companies that could be included today. Another scenario is that the committee for what SoFi also, yes, SoFi could get. Now, again, SoFi, I think, has met the requirements for like 4 months. Usually that doesn't end up, it's got to be at least a year of meeting all the requirements. So SoFi is eligible. Yes. Will they get in? I don't know. It's up to the S&P. Maybe. Granted, SoFi would be a financial. Robinhood's a financial. IBKR and Block just got in. So the financials make me feel a little weary that they're going to, have another one get in. But it's obviously possible. But another thing that could happen is what happened in June, which is no announcement on the S&P 500 because they don't need to do a rebalance, which I think would be a bit ridiculous given there's companies in this index that I'm not saying they don't deserve to be there, but when you talk about top 500 companies in America, like, it's just not anymore. These are older companies that probably don't deserve to be in the top 500 if we think of this as a dynamic index. And so no rebalance would be weird. Is it possible? Yeah, it's very possible. And so we're going to have to see. But in the next 10 minutes, we should know. Let me do a poll right here in the chat on which companies you guys think could get into the S&P 500. I'll pick 4 choices. And let's see. So we got Hood, AppLovin. If you had to pick one out of these 4, which one do you think gets in? We'll do MSTR, And then let's put SoFi on the list. Which one do you think gets in? It could also obviously be none of them. So we're going to find out. We are going to find out. There are already 4 indices posted. Does that mean they are done for the day? No. To my understanding, and the S&P has really got to be better about like communication on this, but to my understanding, the S&P 500, which is different from all the other indices that the S&P Global, which by the way, if you go to their website and go to press releases, which I'm going to right now, the website's probably going to crash in 10 minutes, but that is the website where you get the data. That is announced on the first Friday of September, as always. Last time, I think a lot of us were annoyed because in June, they didn't do a rebalance for the first time since 2022, by the way, and they just decided to not tell anyone. So no one knew until 8 p.m. that night. If we don't have an answer by, call it 5:30, 5:40, so 20 to 25 minutes after the scheduled date, then I don't think they're going to do a rebalance. And maybe they're not going to give a press release officially saying they're not doing a rebalance, which I think is not that hard to do, but they didn't do it last time. But we should know really soon. I mean, really soon. Now, the other question is, do some of these names tank if they don't get in? So does Robinhood go down 5% if it doesn't get in? Is it being propped up? I don't think it is like it was last time. It was obviously running into the inclusion announcement in June. Does that happen again? Does AppLovin, which already took a little bit of a beating today, did that recover? Yeah, they recovered a little bit. It was down 5%. Now it's down 2%. Does that go down 5% if they don't get in? I mean, we're going to see a lot of after hours wonkiness. I don't think the options flow, based on what I saw today, is that geared towards traders assuming one thing or the other. So maybe there's no rebalance, or maybe there's a rebalance that surprises a ton of people, and some of these traders just aren't as excited as they were back in June, which is why we're not seeing that much volume. In about 10 minutes, we should find out and see. I think they will do AppLovin before Hood because they hate Hood. I don't want to go so far to say they hate Robinhood yet. I do think they maybe just want to see more out of Robinhood, and another year in 2026 if Robinhood executes should be enough for that. But AppLovin, if they do a rebalance and it's not AppLovin or Hood, I would be very curious to see who they pick, because we're talking about the top 500 companies in the United States. Like, I'm sorry, but Williams-Sonoma is not a top 500 company. That's what makes this index look like a joke sometimes. And so you would hope that it's not bias or animosity. It's like some legitimate reasoning. But this is like some committee that doesn't even explain their reasoning, So it's like, we're just going to have to see. Now, again, why is the S&P 500 important? If you get into the S&P 500, everyone here that has a job, that has a 401k, there is a portion of your income every 2 weeks that is buying the S&P 500 or some type of index fund that is pegged to the top 100, top 500 companies in America, which means all those funds have to buy a little slice of Palantir, NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, maybe AppLovin, maybe Robinhood. That's why getting into the S&P 500 is important, and you'll likely see the stock make a move today. That stock move could go away next week if Trump says something, right? So it's not like that stock move has to stick. But the point is, once you are recognized as a top 500 company in the United States of America and you keep executing, you're in the cool kids club. And when you're in that club and you keep progressing as a company, there is a constant bid on your stock. And as shareholders, it is one of the magical elements of capitalism. We get to rely on every single person who has a 401k in America buying a little piece of Hood or AppLovin or any of these other companies if they're in the S&P 500. So that's why it matters, and we're going to have to see. Do you think Hood can't get in because of the interest income? I think the cyclicality of their overall business, which Vlad has done a really good job diversifying and communicating that diversification, is still potentially a concern. But if that's a concern to the S&P, I don't know how the hell they're not going to be concerned about a Bitcoin treasury where Bitcoin, you just don't know what's going to happen to Bitcoin, right? As much as it's institutionalized, that MicroStrategy has been down the past couple months because Bitcoin's not even been down that much. Bitcoin's almost, it's not almost at all-time highs, but it was in July, and MicroStrategy's been kind of flat. So if they pick MicroStrategy over Hood, to me, it would be them saying, we love Bitcoin. We're embracing Bitcoin. If they pick Hood over MicroStrategy, they're saying, hey, we care about the diversified business of Robinhood becoming a financial juggernaut. If they pick neither, then it wouldn't surprise me, because I think that's what most people are thinking about as well. Thomas, thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being at the Miami meetup, and appreciate the vibes of you being in the super chat right here. A lot of you guys I met at the Miami meetup also were Hood investors, so it's a big one. It's a big one for everybody. We got to see. I don't want to get my hopes up, but we're going to find out what happens. 40% of you in the poll picked Hood over AppLovin, MicroStrategy, and SoFi. I would pick Hood as well, but I also would not be surprised if they get snubbed. It's just going to be a question of what the committee thinks for this inclusion. Is it 1 or 2 picks? It's usually 3. They usually do a rebalance of 3. Now, again, they just rebalanced last week with IBKR. So maybe that's another thing where I'm like, look, what if they just don't do a rebalance? Because if they rebalanced IBKR last week, a week before the announcement, what if that was their announcement? What if they're like, yeah, we don't need to do anything for the rest of the year. We've done enough rebalances already this year. IBKR, you're the last one in, and we're good. Maybe. And if that's the case, then, we're just going to be kind of bored for the next 30 minutes. But if not, then it would be exciting to see. Now, here's a list of all the companies over the past couple years that got into the S&P 500. I'll pull this up right here. And these are the most recent ones. So August, IBKR. Then you had Square, Trade Desk, and Datadog. Then you had Coinbase in May. Then in March, you had DoorDash, TKO, and Williams-Sonoma. And then in 2024, you had obviously Palantir, that was a big one. You had Dell, Workday, Apollo. You had CrowdStrike. You had GoDaddy, KKR. You had Supermicro, Deckers. Then in 2023, you had Lululemon. That one's not been working out so well. Airbnb, Jabil, Builders, Blackstone. And then earlier in 2023, you had GE Healthcare, FICO, Axon, Palo Alto. Some amazing companies. It's just going to be a question today of if they decide to add some new ones and some ones that a lot of us have been invested in for a while. So we're going to see. Amit was evicted already from his apartment. Yes, exactly. No, the flight ironically got delayed. So I have some more time and got some brunch with my cousin. And now we're kind of out in the nature, in the wild. And so I said, you know what, let's just stream from here. It's better than kind of being stuck at the airport for like 4 hours. All right, so let's see. MicroStrategy dumping, is it? Are we getting... So we have 5 minutes. We might be getting some moves before it happens. MicroStrategy is down 1%. I wouldn't say that's dumping, but it is down. AppLovin's actually up 1%. Hoodie's flat. And then Carvana, that could also get in. CVNA, that is down 0.35. Reddit, Fix, that's another one that could get in. Reddit right here, that's up a little bit. Last time was weird, bro. Last time Hood went all the way up, then it came all the way down, then it went all the way up, then it ended up flat. So it really played with our emotions, but like traders didn't know what to do because the S&P 500 didn't even make an announcement. And so we're going to have to see in the next at least 20 minutes if we get an announcement. If we don't, then I think they're not making one, but we should know pretty soon. Yeah, somehow I'm always traveling during S&P inclusion. Somehow. All right, folks, 4 minutes. 4 minutes, we're going to see which companies will be kicked out. Put some companies in the chat that you think might get kicked out. I think, dude, there's a lot of companies in the S&P that are down like 50, 60% year to date. And so I could obviously see those companies getting kicked out. But also some of them just got in a couple years ago. So like, do you really kick out Lululemon when you put them in October of 2023? I know the stock performance has been abysmal, but is the index that dynamic where they rebalance within a year and a half? Like I would think they're going to look for companies that have been in there for a while that have been underperforming. Companies are allowed to have a bad year. Right now, if Lululemon stays stuck for the next 3-4 years, I could see it. But I don't think the S&P wants to get rid of companies that quickly. So we're going to have to see. Yeah, Enphase is still profitable. I mean, Enphase has had a crappy couple years, but it's like they just got into a while, like I think 3 years ago. Do they really get kicked out after 3 years? So I don't know, which also might go back to the argument that there's just not enough companies to kick out, even though obviously I think there's some companies that don't deserve it. And the S&P just might not want to deal with rebalancing if there's not that much pressure on some of the names that are there. Could this pump the S&P 500 itself? No, probably not. This will create a short-term pump on whatever name gets in or doesn't get in, or a dump on a name that doesn't get in. But it's not going to pump the S&P itself. I don't think so. But it could also just keep all their names flat if they don't get in, right? So We got to really see what the announcement looks like once it's there. Okay, they're not kicking out Tesla, guys. They're not gonna kick out Tesla, dude. That compensation package for Elon to me is so bull. If you're a Tesla shareholder, you've got to be happy that Elon's got to take this bad boy basically to 10 trillion for you to get paid, or for Elon to get paid, which means you obviously will get paid as a shareholder. So I like that announcement today. Tesla also closed above 350, which was great to see. And so now we have to see what ends up happening with the announcement. All right, the website's already crashing, so I probably will be a little late on the news, but if it's crashing for me, it's crashing for everybody. These are the companies again on the list that could get in, and we're gonna see. They just put in SMCI like a year ago. I don't think they would kick out SMCI. Why does it crash always? Because everyone's refreshing it. Dude, you got to remember, guys, it's not just retail. There's a lot of institutional guys that own Hood and AppLovin. And, they are also very eager to see if we can get into the S&P. And, they probably have all their quants refreshing the page to figure out what happened. It's a big one. It's a big deal. Top 500 companies. It's a very, very, very big deal. But we got to see if we get it. We got to see. All right, I will put the stock chart on Hood. It is basically time to get an answer. We probably won't know for another couple minutes. I'm going to be refreshing all of my feeds. And I will be trying to see what happens. By the way, Trump signed an executive order for Department of Defense to become Department of War. That's official. So that is also happening. And now we got to see. All right, Hood goes green. This is the first little bit of green after hours. A little bit, 0.15%. Now it's a 0.4.5 or up 0.49. Nothing on the list. Website's not really refreshing. Well, it's refreshing, but it's not giving me an answer. Now Hood's down. Hood went from green to red. Now it went back green. Okay, so you're starting to see some of the volatility. You're starting to see some of that volatility. Now it's back red. I'll be looking for some moves after hours. I mean, that won't confirm the announcement, but it'll at least maybe guide us to see what could it be. But then again, last time that was pretty deceiving. AppLovin's up 1, so AppLovin has some green. MSTR is down half. That's not giving us anything yet. My covered calls are shaking. Dude, my mom had like 101 covered calls today, but they closed like at 100.9 or something, and so her calls were saved on Hoodie. All right, Hood's down 1.5. Up. I don't know if Hood got in, but now that 1.5 went to 0.2. Dude, oh, now we're up. No, now we're down. No, now we're up. No, now we're up. Now it's actually up. Now it's really green. Hold on. It's up 2%. It's up 3.5. I'm not going to say we got in because I don't know, but it is green. Now it's up 6. Now it's up 7. We're going to have to see. I cannot confirm anything yet. We got to really see if this happens. 108 after hours, 7%. That is a healthy green candle. I don't know if it's enough. MicroStrategy's down 3%. AppLovin is up 9%. Okay, so Hood and AppLovin are moving green. Both of them are up 9%. They're both moving green. I am trying to get the announcement. We can't use that officially. But as soon as I see it, I will let you all know. I don't have any confirmation yet, but we do. The two big names that a lot of people expected are both up 8% after hours. They're both up 8% after hours. Again, I am trying to get the official release. Don't have it yet. Dude, it's up, dude. I mean, it's not a 2%, it's 3%, it's 8%. It's a healthy green. That could go away though if it's not real. It's not in. Hood now up 7%. AppLovin up 7. Both of them up 7. Again, no confirmation officially. I think. Do I have it yet? I think. Let me see. I don't have an official source. I see some of you in the chat saying yes, but I got to get a source. I got to get something official. I got to see it with my own eyes. to report it. Don't see it yet. None of my sources are showing it. Hood's up, though. It is up. You got a couple accounts tweeting it's up, but until I see it officially, I don't want to say it. So I want to see. I want to see it for real. If they got in. It feels like they got in. It feels like they got in. I see there's a lot of accounts tweeting Hood got in. They're probably right based on the price action, but until I see the official press release, I simply cannot confirm it. It obviously looks like it, but no one's tweeting the screenshot. They're just tweeting the headline, and until I see the screenshot, it's hard for me to believe it. So I want to see the official screeny. Let's see. AppLovin still up as well. Hoodie now up 7%. AppLovin up 7%. You guys are just reposting the headline, but I gotta see the screenshot before we celebrate. We gotta do it. We got to do it. We just gotta know. Website's still not low. No one has the screenshot, dude. No one has it. You guys think MCore also got in? I've never heard of this company, but let me look it up. Is their stock up? MCore stock is up 3%. Not as much as Hood and AppLovin, but it is up, which makes me think those three being in is possible. Bloomberg is saying yes. Let me see. Don't have the headline from there. Let me check if we have any CNBC coverage as well. Maybe that could help. Just gotta see if it's official. 109 on Hoodie. Gergovin confirmed. Okay, but I need to see the screenshots still. I love Gerg, but I want to see the screenshot for sure. Just be a little bit too conservative, but we have to. We have to. I'd rather be safe than just say it for saying it. Gerg's also tweeting the headline. He's not tweeting the screenshot. It's a simple screenshot. It's a screenshot. It's from the S&P committee website. No one has that yet. And until they do, I want to confirm. Now, granted, all three stocks are up after hours, so it should happen. But also, what are the companies that got out of it, right? Like, where are the companies that got out? So that's another thing that I want to see. Oh, hold on. Is this it? Okay, I think this is it. I have a Bloomberg screenshot from someone who just DM'd me. It looks pretty legit. I will try to confirm it. It looks like this person has the terminal, and this terminal likely is confirming it. I think it's in. I think. Yeah, guys, let me show it to you. I think, yep. All right, here we go. I think we are in. That is the screenshot right there. As you can see on the Bloomberg terminal, AppLovin, Robinhood, MCore group to join S&P 500 index. AppLovin, Robinhood, and MCore set to join S&P 500 at open on 9/22. That is the official Bloomberg screenshot that I'm seeing. Yep, it's official. We're in. We are in. We're in, folks. Robinhood is a top 500 company in the United States of America. It is official. We are in. They did it. They gave it to us. Up 7.5%, 108.82. We hit 110 at one point. AppLovin up 7.5%. MCore up 2.65%. AppLovin and Robinhood, two of the names that people thought probably should get in. They are officially in. Congratulations to everyone who has been on the journey, particularly for a Hoodie. I know a lot of you guys here have been on the Hoodie journey. A bunch of people here probably own AppLovin as well. But there you go. We are in. Now, the pump on the stock, I mean, I don't know. Next week, it could go down 7%, right? But that to me is really irrelevant. What matters is starting September 2nd or September 22nd, and 2 weeks, any person who works in America that has a 401k is going to be giving a portion of their income to the S&P 500. And as a result, that will be bidding up Robinhood, no matter what, for the next 2 weeks in perpetuity, as long as Robinhood continues to execute and they stay in the index. Folks, we are officially in. Vlad's dream has materialized to create $100 billion worth of wealth for a lot of people. A lot of those people also being retail that hopped on this story not even that long ago. I mean, this thing was at 30 in April. It was at 7 in December of 2023. And we are here. It is official. Robinhood is in the S&P 500. I'll see if I can find some more coverage on this, but it absolutely looks official right here. Robinhood, AppLovin, and MCore Group. MicroStrategy, obviously not in the S&P 500. They did not get in. MSTR, that stock is down 2%. Not too bad for being down 2%. AppLovin's up 7.7. AppLovin also, incredible company. They deserve it, growing 77% year over year, $165 billion market cap. Probably deserved to be in the S&P 500. And then Robinhood, which was actually at a $90 billion market cap before getting in, is now in. CNBC, they're reporting it. Let me see. See if we can get some coverage on this. Okay, they're talking about Tylenol leading to autism right now. So I was popping some Tylenol the other day, bro. So we'll see what happens. But on the website, CNBC on the website. Yep, confirmed. All right, CNBC on the website. There you go. Absolutely official. Bloomberg and CNBC. Folks, AppLovin and Hoodie. S&P 500. There it is. There it is. There you go. There you freaking go. Robinhood. She is in the S&P 500. This is, I don't have a bell, unfortunately, but this is pretty freaking cool. Robinhood and the Palantir, a lot of on the Hood bandwagon, at least like if you got in around $7-8 around July of 2023, about 2.5 years later, same as Palantir, they're in. And for those that joined at 15, 17, 20, 30, I mean, if you joined at 50 or 60, you're up a double still. Like, you have not really been late to the story. And it looks like this story is just beginning. 2.5 years for Palantir, 2.5 years for Robinhood. And the execution by Vlad has just been obviously outstanding. Robinhood's event is going to be in Vegas. And Vegas is going to be a party. For those that are at Vegas, this is going to be a fun Hood event. This is going to be a fun hoodie event. This is going to be a fun one. Because, not only are they showing off new products, but obviously I think Vlad's going to be walking in with a little bit of swag. A little bit of swag, knowing that his company, the company that people thought was dead, the company that people thought would never survive what happened with GameStop, which was not a good situation, but people thought it was dead. And Vlad said, I'm not leaving. Pivoted the entire company, ate shit for 2.5 years, and brought that company back from the dead. It is American capitalism at its finest. And it is one of the most exciting things to see as a founder, just as someone who's like ambitious. If you are at all ambitious to see what Vlad was able to do over the past 2.5 years. Again, the stock was $7 in December of 2023. It is more than 10x, not because of hype, not because of mania, not because of trying to convince people that you just need to buy the stock for the hell of buying the stock, but because of growth that deserves a multiple that is hard to differentiate from other companies, which is why you get a multiple in the first place, and a resiliency to a culture that is not slowing down. And that's why Robinhood is now included into the S&P 500. This is awesome. Yeah, Triple V, he bought what? He bought 100,000 shares at 98. We're at 108. He's up $1 million. Shout out to Triple V if you're watching. He is he's up a cool $1 million in what? 5 hours? Not too bad. Not too bad. Batty, shout out to you. Thank you for the $100 super chat. Heck yes, Hoodie. Batty will also be at the Vegas event. So for anyone who's there, you'll be able to see her. She was trading some Hood options today. Jake Rizzo, thank you for the $100 super chat. Appreciate you being here. Lords, thank you for the $100 super chat again. Deeply, deeply appreciate everyone who's been on this journey. I'm Beneficial. My brother, we've been on this journey since the very beginning. We made it officially top 500 companies in America. Robinhood is officially in. It's pretty cool, dude. It's pretty freaking cool. And it is official. Let me see if we can get some up. I got this guy calling me. Hold on. Dude, we're in.
Are we actually though?
We are officially CNBC and Bloomberg confirmed. We are in.
Oh my God, bro. Vegas is going to be so amazing. Can you believe this?
This is standard, by the way. Yes, Vegas is going to be. Dude, how do you feel, bro? Like we're in. Like legit, we're in. There's people right here looking around like, why is this guy yelling? It's because Robinhood is in the S&P 500. How do you feel?
I'm so freaking stoked, man. This has been an unbelievable journey, and it's just kind of crazy that we're still just getting started. This is just another notch on the belt of saying that, the Robinhood journey is absolutely true. People are loving Robin now. Not only are the investors going to benefit from S&P ending up forcing purchases into Robinhood stock, but then that's also going to benefit S&P because they have another great name that's usually going to outperform markets. So I'm just stoked.
Yeah, those people walked away.
And I heard AppLovin got it too.
Yes, AppLovin did get in. By the way, those I'm outside. Those people just walked away. I think they were long GameStop. But anyway, dude, we are in. AppLovin is in. Robinhood is in. The S&P 500, as you said, will get another company that actually allows the S&P to gain more momentum, right? Because they need good companies that can, they need more than the Williams-Sonomas in the world.
I was going to say, this is not Williams-Sonoma.
Why didn't you stream? Where are you? Are you traveling or something? Or?
I'm traveling right now.
Okay. So you just got on Twitter and you saw it.
Yeah, I've been trying to follow, tweets, but I haven't seen the actual S&P global post yet. That's the only thing that got me confused. I saw the Bloomberg posts, but I've got my girlfriend operating the phone to make sure I can see the news in real time. Yeah, I'm just traveling.
Yeah, well, CNBC and Bloomberg confirmed it. I mean, it is official. I'm waiting for that screenshot as well, but we got two sources. Last time we didn't have two sources actually confirm it. We just had a bunch of Twitter accounts, so that's why it's in. Okay, so I don't want to keep it too long, but in general, trajectory of Robinhood going into this active trader event, banking in the fall, what do you think the next 4 months has now that we're in the S&P 500?
Man, I don't know. I don't know what the actual impact is. Maybe this puts 15%, upside on the stock. I think more and more traders will get excited. I think that this brings more institutional demand because they realize that this is not some kiddie brokerage. This is one of the biggest companies in all of America.
Yeah.
But, I'm more generally excited about the long term, and this is just another piece. I really think that Devin Ryan is right, that over the course of the next, many years, this is a $400 or $500 stock all day long. And we're really early into international expansion in banking in general. So, man, I cannot to see the team and how freaking excited they're all going to be. It's going to be so exciting in Vegas, knowing that the employees are going to be.
Yeah, and you and I have gotten a chance to come to some of these events and talk to the employees, and they obviously really, really care about Robinhood. They care about what they're doing. They care about the mission of democratizing finance, and they also worked their asses off the past 3 years. A lot of them could have left when the stock was 7, but they stayed and they trusted in Vlad. It's
which is crazy, man.
Yeah.
And soon, hopefully, they're going to be here in Canada, so I'll be able to be a revenue contributor through WonderFi acquisition if that ends up getting finalized.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man.
All right, brother. I'm going to let you go, but that was I'm over the moon. I almost crashed my car. It was I was screaming here, so that's super exciting.
Yeah, dude. Congratulations. Well, I'll talk to you on Monday. It was awesome.
All right. Peace.
Peace. Folks, we're in. We are officially in. It happened. It happened. Dude, it's just like, dude, 2.5 years for Palantir, 2.5 years for Robinhood. I think that just speaks to how much they had to execute, how much they had to be undeniable for the committee to be like, we got to give it to them. We got to give it to them. Sebastian, thank you for the $10 super chat. Admit 99 isn't a big gift, but thank you for getting me into Robinhood and inspiring my investing journey at 23. Thank you, and congrats to all HOOD holders as well. Sebastian, thank you for being here, regardless if it's $1, $10, $100. I could care less about the dollar amount. I am just so freaking grateful that people are here on this journey together, this community that's been rock solid for the past couple of years. We had a big one with Palantir. Some people that joined like my community didn't really get into Palantir, but HOOD was the second one. I know we're all trying to find our third and fourth, but a lot of you have individually found your third and fourth, whether it's SoFi, Rocket Lab, IREN, so many of these names. This is a testament to retail. This is a testament to due diligence that comes from people that are quote unquote dumb money, that are not sophisticated enough to research the capital markets. This comes from people that shouldn't be learning about options and derivatives because it's too complicated. It's like, no, this is a testament, and uniquely, it's a highly differentiated testament because Robinhood is a retail company for retail investors. And so them getting institutionalized by the S&P, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So this is awesome. Okay, I don't know who got kicked out because I still don't have the screenshot, as Tanner was saying. So I like usually the screenshot, let me see if it's been posted. It tells you who got kicked out. I don't see it. I don't see it anywhere. I'm trying to find it. No one has it yet. This is the Bloomberg screenshot again. By the way, I don't know what the third company is. MCore. I'm going to look that up right now. $28 billion company. MCore. It's a construction company. Mechanical and electrical construction. Okay, so we got one ad company, one financial company, and then one construction company. That's what we got in to the index. Caesars is kicked off. And Enphase and Caesars, really? Hold on. Let me see if I can confirm that. Enphase and Caesars, really? By the way, if any Robinhood employees are watching, congratulations. I mean, if anyone's watching from the team, you guys have worked your absolute butts off for the past couple of years. I've had the honor and privilege of meeting some of you guys, talking to some of you guys, and you crushed it. You absolutely crushed it. And the cool thing is retail got to follow a retail company's journey. And so many of us got excited once we realized that the company was really pivoting back in early of 2024 to fundamentally say, we're not going to focus on just stock trading. We're going after wallet share. And wallet share, the percentage of wallets that Robinhood can get, obviously increases trading activities, increases net interest income, increases credit card adoption, increases all these ancillary financial services that the average person doesn't have access to, or doesn't have access to in the way that wealthy people have access to. And that's been Vlad's mission for a long time. So if you do work at the company, thank you for your hard work and congratulations on the S&P. I don't see news on the other ones that got kicked out. MicroStrategy is down 2%. AppLovin's still up 7.5, and Robinhood's still up 7. But I don't see the ones that got kicked. I'm trying to get some CNBC coverage, but they keep talking about autism with Tylenol, because apparently that's like a really important topic. I have got high off Tylenol before. No one believes me when I say it, but I was floating. No one wants to believe me when I say it, but I was. I don't know if I got autism though. All right, so do they have any more coverage? No, CNBC still not covering it. Bloomberg not covering it. We have the text updates on their website, but no TV coverage yet. So we'll see. Maybe after this ad break, they'll cover it. And we'll see how this ends up playing out. Vive is down. Okay, so Viva Systems also potentially could have got in. That's why I think they're down right now. Viva. Yeah, they're down 3.6%. Wow, dude, they really picked Robinhood. I was so ready to be disappointed. So ready. I was so ready to be like, all right, it is what it is. But like, they actually did it. Pound Tired, thank you for the super chat. We did it, baby. Poundier than HOOD in consecutive years. This channel is special, dude. Thanks, Mid, and everyone I met in Miami. We are rich, bitch. And get well soon, June. Yes, June. I know she owns some Robinhood as well. If she's watching, hopefully she feels a bit better. She's been dealing with some stuff with her heart. So thank you for the well wishes for her. And Yeah, Palantir and Hood in consecutive years is kind of wild. Dude, this was the time when Palantir got in last year, 2024, September. A year later, September 2025, you got Hood. Jason, thanks for the super chat. Just crossed 500,000 in my investment portfolio from 30K to 500 this year. Absolutely incredible. Congratulations, dude. Congratulations. Not easy to do that. And I would imagine if Hood, Palantir, any of these other main companies that have done well this year, I'm assuming maybe you use a little bit of options, leverage, whatever you use to get to that money. That is exceptional. Again, most Americans don't have $500 in their savings account. It's a real thing. So now the goal is to protect that money, but the fact that you're able to get there, absolutely incredible. And if you do have Hood, that is helping you protect that money. 108.40, that is a % on the day. The other thing that's really important about Hood is that there is still a level of animosity. Like, there's a lot of people that don't believe in them. There's a lot of people that hate Vlad. There's a lot of people that still think GameStop is the most important thing in the world. Whenever I tweet about Hood, there's always, I would say, at least 5% of the comments that just absolutely despise the company. That alpha was necessary, very necessary for the, when you have people saying, quite frankly, intellectually mediocre criticisms. Intellectually mediocre is a politically correct way to say fucking stupid. Like that, I'm just sorry, but like these intellectually mediocre criticisms, it made me even more comfortable when Hood was in the 20s, 30s, and 40s to keep buying more, because that is the criticism you need to know that there's alpha. And I think that criticism will still persist, even though this is a top 500 company in the United States of America. And hopefully that means there's a lot more alpha along with execution for this company going into the future. There you go. We got in. Okay, CNBC says AppLovin will replace Market Access Holdings while Robinhood will take the place of Caesars Entertainment. Market Access, what is that? Market Access? I've never heard of that. Caesars, I obviously know, the casino. By the way, party at Caesars in Vegas next week? Is that what we're doing? Market Access. This is an international financial technology company. Their stock year to date is down 17%, $7 billion company. Okay, I don't know about them, but if they were in, they've been replaced. AppLovin and Hood replaced those two. There you go. Davin, thanks for the $20 super chat. Congrats, everyone, and thank you, Mitt. P.S. Don't lose your luggage out of excitement on a random park bench. It is in my cousin's car, so should be okay with the luggage. But yeah, man, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the journey. I should probably tweet this because I haven't tweeted anything yet. But this is exciting. This is awesome, dude. This is it. Yes, Triple V did buy 100,000 shares of Hood today. He has like 4 million, so and I think his average is like $40. So he's up a decent amount today. Yeah, Triple V just texted me. He said congrats to everybody. There you go. I mean, Triple V hopped on the bandwagon. For those that don't know him, he's a friend of the channel. He's done quite well for himself in his life, and he hopped on Palantir back when it was like $15-19. Hood, I think he hopped on around 17 to like 24, 25-ish. That was the range. I think he doubled down when it was in the 40s, and it's been incredible. There's a lot of people that have a lot of big money in Hood. I know a lot of us have invested a decent amount, but there's a lot of people that just have lots and lots of money because they believed in this company so much and they really concentrated their position. And every form of execution that Vlad kept doing over the past year, which, by the way, the trader event in Vegas is going to be the third event of the year. Most companies don't have one event per year. This is going to be the third one. And so you're just going to have a level of execution. I think that's not. Vlad would rather die than not execute at the level he's executing at. That is the culture and vibe that I get from him. That's the culture and vibe I get from the employees when I talk to them about Vlad's ferocious necessity to just get shit done and make it happen. And I think for the next decade, you are going to have multiple events every year, multiple products every year, new verticals every single year. And which is why I feel safe. A lot of people complain about the valuation, about the multiple. I'm not saying it's a cheap stock, but I'm also saying that it's expensive for a reason. This is a generational company, and you either believe that or not. But if you have believed that, the S&P 500 just validated a lot of that belief, and That is why today is a very, very special day. Not bad. Not bad at all. Again, congratulations to everybody. We are in. We are officially in. Yeah, SoFi might be next in 2026. Again, their execution has been incredible. I mean, we're going to see what happens in 2026. I'm just so happy we don't have to wait another year, bro. I'm just like we all knew they deserved to get in. So the question was like, do we have to really, are they really going to make us wait another year for this to happen? And thankfully they're not, which is the exciting part about this announcement. All right, there you go. We are in. It is official. Let me see if I can get any coverage on this at all. No coverage live on this. All right, so we'll have a lot to talk about on Monday and on Sunday night for the future show when we go deeper on this. But this was a big one, guys. This was a big one. We made it happen, and officially it is live, and we're in. So, all right, folks, that is it for me. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to head out to the airport. Congratulations on everyone. This was a big, big, big day. We made it happen. Hoodie got it. If you bought the dip this morning at freaking, what, 97, 95, like, you know, it happened, and there you go. So congratulations to everybody. Congrats to you all. I will see you guys on Sunday night for the future show. We'll talk more about it. And I'll see everybody in Vegas. I will see everybody in Vegas, and this will be a fun one in Vegas. This will be a little bit of a fun event in Vegas. Lord said I bought calls this morning on Hood. I mean, 94, 95, that dip, whoever took advantage of it definitely worked out today. Now, anything could happen to the stock next week, but the point is, long-term, as Tanner said, we are in the S&P. There's going to be a constant bid on this stock. Vlad's execution is not going anywhere, so regardless of what happens short-term with the stock price, it looks like we're going to see some momentum, and that's why it's very exciting. Dean, thank you for the 100 super chat. Thank you, Amit. Made some nice cash on Hoodie because I listened to your analysis on it. Keep up the good work on your community. Thank you, Dean, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this community. We got in. Took 2.5 years from the bottom, but we are in. And I think, honestly, the trajectory for Robinhood really is just beginning. It's very exciting. And we all got in together, which makes this just so much more special. I'll see you guys Sunday night, and I'll see everyone in Vegas. Robinhood, S&P 500. Congratulations, everybody. I'll see you guys in a couple days. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.